This is expected value out of chapter 4.1, and you don't have to do all of the things that are listed here every time, but I just thought it was a good problem for you to see everything that you need to know. How to find the mean, the variance, the standard deviation, and the expected value. So what you're going to do is you're given students in a class that take a quiz with 8 questions. The number X of questions answered correctly can be approximated. So here, if there were 0 questions answered, the probability is 0.02. Now, all of this was given to you. We haven't figured this one. I'm going to show you one in a few minutes where you'll actually figure it, but this one was given to you. So if you make a table, here's what you're going to put in the table. And the X is, and there's a way to do this on the calculator, and I'll show you in a few minutes, but some of you like to do some of it by hand. So here's X, and those are all the numbers that were in the table, and here's P of X, and they were in the table. And remember, for it to be a probability distribution, you have to have these numbers will equal 1 if it's a probability distribution. Now the next step would be the next step would be to multiply each one of these numbers. 0 times P of X gives you 0. 1 times 0.02 gives you 0.02. 2 times this gives you 0.12. And what happens is if you add this column, there's your mean right there. So that's how you find the mean. Now the next column is where you take this number over here, which is X, and you subtract the mean from it, and you get negative 5.3. You take 1, you subtract the mean from it, and you're going to get negative 4.3. And you're going to square each one of these numbers, and that's going to give you this next column. And remember, even if you square it and you get a negative number, these numbers are never negative. They're always positive. So just throw the negative away. This column should not be negative, nor any number in this next column. And this next column is where you're taking this 28.09 and you're multiplying it times P of X, which is 0.02, and you'll get this number. And then you're going to multiply 18.49 times 0.02, and you'll get 0.372. So you'll get all of these done by multiplying P of X times this column, and when you do, you're going to get the answer 3.3250. Now, what I want to look at next is I want to talk to you about the variance and the standard deviation. Now, question A says, what is the mean? And remember, this column gives you the mean. The second question said, what is the variance? And this is the variance. I've just rounded off to one number behind the decimal. And remember, if you remember variance, you can find standard deviation by taking the square root of the variance, and when you do, the square root of 3.3 is going to give you 1.8. And so your expected value is going to be the sum of X times P of X, which is here. And so the expected number of correctly answered questions is 5.3 with a standard deviation of 1.8. Now, here's how you can use the calculator to do this. You go to the stat menu on the calculator, you enter the X values in L1, you enter the column that says P of X in L2, then you press stat, go back over to calculate, one variable stats, you press enter only one time, then you press second 1 to print L1, then put a comma, then press second 2 to print L2, and when you press enter, you'll see the mean and the standard deviation. Now I'm going to try and show you, and here it is. This is where you'll find that in Tools for Success under in your My Stat Lab, and it tells you the instructions right here on how you do that.